Because I remember one time I took a picture with this girl and she cropped it to make it seem like I was her main boo. And I was like, I don't know this girl.
Right.
Like, and she was just like, and like it was like a heart emoji underneath it. And I was like, yo, you cute. Like, but you messing things up for me right now.
Like slow down. I get people that take a picture and I hear them walk away like, who was that?
Or my favorite, they take a picture that was like, and like they'll show their friend and be like, I can't believe you took a picture with Charlemagne. I'm
Big Boy's neighborhood. Beautiful day in the neighborhood, man. It's a special day. Desus Nice. Welcome back to the neighborhood, Desus. What's going on?
What's going on, y'all?
Man, maintaining, bro. First off, before we start anything, man, I want to apologize to you.
Yes.
Not just apologize, man. I want to send some sympathy out. You know what I'm saying? I know you wearing your New York Yankees hat, man, and I just want to take this time.
Damn, right off the rip, huh?
Yeah, I wanted to start there.
Not even no foreplay, not even gonna be nice, take me to dinner. Just going right to it. Wow, the boys to men. Wow.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm in enemy territory. Shout out to Freddie Freeman. Shout to Los Dodgers.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Shout out to Dodger Stadium. Shout out to the Douglas. Shout out to Echo Park.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to all y'all. Shout out to y'all. Enjoy your little tacos.
Oh, man.
Your little Otani dance. Oh, y'all had your little fun. Oh, decoy. The parade.
Man. Oh, my God. The parade.
It's one thing to lose to the Dodgers. It's another thing to lose to the Dodgers in LA.
Yeah. Oh, my God, man.
I'm walking around the other day. I'm walking downtown. I'm walking my dog. I have on a Yankee hat. A car stops at the intersection and goes to the dog. You're too cute to belong to a Yankee fan.
No.
Come on, man. When you're getting the pets involved, that's personal.
Man, that was you because Louis just did that to somebody.
No, I didn't want to say anything. I don't want to say. We will discuss it later.
Man, because you're in LA now.
I'm in LA.
Yeah, so
I'm both coasts.
Right,
but
okay.
I'm here the majority of the time, and people was like, "Yo, you gotta stop wearing the Yankee hat." And I was like, "No, this is like my religion."
Right. I'm not losing my religion.
Exactly.
That's me in the corner.
That's me in the spotlight.
Hey, man. But was it hard for you to watch that?
You know what? No, because I've had my heart broken by the Yankees so many times. It felt familiar.
Okay, you was like, again.
It was like I was like, oh, the sweet feeling of trauma.
Like this feel this tastes familiar.
Wow, it smells like mommy's kisses.
Yeah,
right.
Hey, man, but yeah, it was. I would say it was a great series, but it was.
It was a good series, but I believe this is me just being an honest baseball fan. I wanted it to go 7 games.
Right.
Because it was so
MLB.
good. Right. But the MLB as well. But apparently the Yankees didn't.
Right. Yeah.
So
you had more drive probably than they did at the moment.
No, definitely. At that point, like I probably could have played better than them. Judge.
Amen. Amen. Oh, amen. But he talked a good one though.
Yeah.
He talked a good one.
Talked a good one. Real good.
Yeah,
talked good. He talked a good one like a guy that's like proposes to you and never gonna like really seal the deal. You know what I mean? He was just like, hey,
that long engagement.
You know, like 15 years engagement, you got 3 kids. Yeah. Promises.
Like I'm here though. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be here, you be here, we be here together.
That's that whole thing when you're trying to get it right. Like, man, the money ain't right, that this ain't right. You know, once the such and such.
Listen,
that's the one day.
Once I get this rap contract, I got you, boo. Like,
that's the one day, man. But y'all get it one day. Again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's last time was 09.
Yeah. And that's not too bad. It's not it's not like it's 1809 or 1909.
But I remember I'm also a Knicks fan, so I know about hunger.
Oh,
okay, because last time the Knicks won, I think there were dinosaurs.
Hey, bro.
So,
hey, man, Desus, you're probably the cooler. You know what I'm saying? You're probably the bad luck piece.
Hey, you know what? Don't say that because
you may be. You know how they had the Drake curse? There's probably the Desus curse.
Okay, don't do that, bro. Come on, man.
Man, I'm looking at the camera.
I'm in Dodger. I'm in Dodger land. You calling me the Drake curse? Now Kendrick gonna come out here and perform "Not Like Us" on me. Wop wop wop. I don't need that. I don't need that.
Hey, man. First off, I gotta really say congratulations to you, man. You have put so much equity into your brand.
Thank
you know what I'm saying? And now there is a new situation for you.
Yes.
Yeah, and talk to me about what's going on with you that's new, bro.
Oh, shout out to that. Thank you. Shout out to HartBeat. Kevin,
yeah, man.
Shout out to Kevin Hart. You know
I've been here for years and knowing Kevin, he ain't never signed me to nothing. But
listen,
go ahead.
Shout out to Kevin. With HartBeat, it's a project with HartBeat and Draft Kings. I'm working with my homegirl.
Those are the biggest dogs too, though, bro. You came out and said, "Man, what's the big dogs that I can sign with?"
No, that's a bit that like it still doesn't feel real.
Hey, dude, one of those is good enough. A HartBeat Global, that's good enough.
Right.
Draft Kings is good enough.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And together is great enough, bro.
Thank you. And it's like it's called Bet. and it's a podcast. Basically, it's not even like a full podcast. It's like kind of a project I'm doing with Scottie Beam from New York. That's my homegirl. That's my actual homegirl. We're friends in real life. So when they approached me and was like, "Yo, do you know this girl?" I was like, "Of course. This is my homie. I get a chance to work with my homie."
Yeah, man.
And the thing is, it's not like people hear Draft Kings. They're like, "Yo, I'm gonna go broke. This is for degenerate gamblers." It's like, no, like this is just you're betting on like pop. You're not even betting. You says wagers on pop culture.
Yeah.
You got the legal people. I don't want to get like that text from Draft.
But the show is called what?
It's called Bet. It's called Bet. You know what I'm saying? It's Bet, not like the channel. But and, you just do like we're talking about like pop culture. So we might be talking about like Real Housewives, or we're talking about like
that's low hanging fruit for you though, bro.
Thanksgiving. Like, what's your favorite food in Thanksgiving? Like, do you enjoy this in Christmas? It's just a little thing you can play with. You can win up to 10K on it if you go to the app, and it's like real money. And then
is it a daily for you? How often do you guys go?
We do it every 2 weeks.
Oh my god!
So, but the app is always there. You can go on there and just open it, see what's going on.
So if you're doing something that's like let's just say Thanksgiving, or if you guys are doing anything like that, what's the wager situation though? That's that part when it comes to bet. Like, what does that mean?
It's just like, what do you think is? Think about it like this: like the amount of people that log into it is like, what meal are you looking most forward to at Thanksgiving? The turkey, cranberry, the stuffing, and say everyone votes, and you try to predict which one is going to be the winner from everybody.
Wow!
So simple like that.
Hey man, that almost sounds like easy money because I'm going turkey.
It's easy money because you got to remember, not that many people are playing.
Right.
So you got 10K
Your
right
odds
there,
are like,
and you can sit there, you can play on the couch while your auntie's making the mac and cheese. While your uncle's fighting with somebody. Well, Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah,
make
man.
the most of it.
But you guys do it in it's just conversational too. Though.
It's just conversational. Me and her just talking, and it's really funny because if you look at the chemistry we have, it comes off like big brother, little sister.
That's dope.
It's just like super easy, super fast. There's no script. We're just like freestyling it. And it's just super comfortable because Scottie is so opinionated and strong.
Yeah, see, that's what you need.
And that's what I need. And also, it gives me a chance because like I've never worked with a woman before. So now I can actually talk about like, female stuff without being like, you don't want like
without being in
guys
the locker room.
being women's issues. Like you don't want that. You don't want to be talking about like, yo, I'm shoplifting in Sephora. Like, like that's not my business.
Yeah, do you douche? I don't know because some people are against it.
Like I don't want to start the podcast like, girl, what's your favorite beauty blender? That's not.
Hey man, but you put so much that, like I always say that there's tuition into the School of Experience, and this has been like a lifetime of tuition into the School of Experience because even before we got on to like the Desus and Mero, you already had been tuned in with either pop culture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so everything that you're doing, like I said, is low-hanging fruit for you.
Thank you.
Had you always been in tune with what was going on, even in sports, environment?
Every point in my life, I've always just been in the culture. Like, even when I worked in the New York Public Library, the thing was, I used to work at the.
Don't let that go past. Like I'm not going to ask you about this.
Oh no,
you worked in the library.
Bro, I've had every job in the world.
Hey man,
the Jamaican in me is coming out. But no, I used to work in the library, and one of my jobs was I was the person that checked the books in and out. So when you work in the library in the morning, it's super slow because all the kids are in school. No one comes there except for like senior citizens.
Right.
So you had a chance. I would sit there and I would just read GQ, Esquire, every magazine, or if we want to use library terms, periodicals.
Go ahead. Yes.
So I would just read it. So I just know all this stuff. And it was just like, even though I'm in the Bronx, I'm not going to these places. I'm reading GQ and I'm seeing like they have like sweaters for $900, and I'm like, who would buy a $900 sweater? Now I have $900 sweaters.
Right.
Plug. But you know what I'm saying? Like just reading
now
it
you can.
and knowing this and just cataloging it and just being aware of stuff. So there's stuff in pop culture I'm aware of, and I have no business being aware of. Like I know who Charlie XCX is.
Right.
I'm not in the club doing the hot to go dance. Like,
but
if I'm in the club doing that, I'm in the wrong club.
But that's what I've noticed too, man. When I would watch these shows as well, man, is that y'all knew enough about everything.
That's the thing. You have to, you got to always be able to dip your toe in other pools, even if you don't feel comfortable in it. Because if you're able to talk about other experiences, you're able to relate to other people.
Right.
And just going forward, that makes it more accessible when you interview people or just being able to relate to people and guests and stuff like that.
Did you do the week? Was it Jimmy Kimmel?
I did Jimmy Kimmel, and I also did The Daily Show.
The Daily Show was because you did like a week on The Daily Show. And see, that's another thing, man, where you did it your way. I enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, thank you.
And it wasn't just, because some people want to put us in a box. Just do hip hop, just talk such and such. But when you can sit down like that, man, and do it your way, and have that audience and a monologue captivated, I was like, man, kill that.
Thank you. And a shout out to the Daily Show staff, the writers, because when just talking to them, they were like, yo, we're not doing it the way other hosts would do it. We want to do it the Desus way. We're familiar with how you work.
Yeah, man.
And they left a lot of a lot of wiggle room in the script. So you could say this, you could freestyle this, you could change this. And it felt super comfortable. And I remember just on the last day, everyone was so sad because they were like, we had so much fun doing this.
Wow.
And it was just also the idea, it all hit me at the last moment. I used to watch this show in my first apartment, on my way to work at the library.
Right.
And now I'm hosting it.
It's crazy.
Isn't that crazy though,
That
man?
is wild. And that's one thing I don't take for granted ever in my career. I have moments and I'm just sitting there, I'm like, yo, what exactly is going on right now? When we interviewed Obama, when we interviewed Derek Jeter, Michelle Yeoh, these are huge stars.
Hey, dude, y'all would have so many people that would come by and hang out with y'all your way. You know what I'm saying?
And they felt super comfortable. They'd always be like at the end of every interview, they was like, I've never had an interview like that. This is so much fun.
Yeah, dude. And I would see people, either y'all walking through the Bronx with people,
AOC,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or them taking the freight down to the base
studio. Yeah.
It was just so much, man. And you never seen anything like that. You know what I'm saying? And when you say the public library, where did you, and you say you had all kind of gigs.
All kind of gigs.
You know what I'm saying? What did you do before entertainment started paying the bills?
Bro, how much time you got?
I got time.
Listen, all right, let me see some of the jobs I've had. Worked at the library. I was a strip club manager at one point.
Really?
I used to buy.
Hey, man, you couldn't have got me out of that.
Listen, no, it's not fun.
Oh, really?
It's not fun. It's very stressful. One of the biggest problems, I had to talk to the management because of a budget cut, they wanted to go from 2-ply to 1-ply in the bathroom.
Damn.
The problem is once your club goes to 1-ply, the clientele starts acting up. It's a big deal.
You knew that.
You knew that because I've dealt with it. At the time, I had worked in a bunch of clubs. No, so if you got 1-ply, people will be like, yo, this club, they don't care about the customers. Why should I care? People start wilding.
And you did your research. You like, I know this.
Right.
Believe me, I've been down this road.
There's little things that let you know the club cares. If you go to a bathroom of a club and there's soap and lotion.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's true.
You okay.
That's
they care.
true, man.
Little things like that, people notice things like that, and that changes their behavior.
Oh my gosh, bro! So I went to a strip club one time, right? And I had introduced one of my friends to the strip club, and I remember we went, and then 4 or 5 months later, he never really talked to me, and then we finally went back to it, and this lady brings out a mocha latte with whipped cream on top, and he's like, here, and I was like, how the hell did you get that served here? And he's like. And then the girl's like, oh, he's been coming here almost every other week. So
oh, wow.
We realized he liked coffee.
Right,
so
that's dope. So they catered to him.
So
they didn't just call him. They didn't call him a trick. They was like, oh, okay.
No, he a regular customer.
Yeah,
so
regular customer.
Regular customer.
How long did you work in the strip club as a manager?
Oh, that was maybe 4 years.
You worked there for 4 years?
No, I was doing everything because I was also doing I was a freelance programmer.
What is that?
Oh, I was doing computer programming.
Yeah.
No,
damn. So you started off not started off, but you well versed in computers.
Super. I know 5 programming languages, and I'm also Cisco certified. I have my CCNA.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah,
if you're listening, you know what that is. You're like, wow, okay.
Right.
So, it's a certificate you have to take a technical course for and pass a test and all this stuff. And basically, if you get a Cisco certification, the top level Cisco certification, they take you into a gym and it's just computers around and they're like, something bad has happened, restart the internet. And you have to get all these computers that are not connected to anything and restart the internet. Recreate the internet as if a nuclear bomb has gone off and you have to restart the internet for humanity.
Oh, my God. And you did that?
No, I never got to that level. I was like, that's too much.
Oh, okay.
I was like, whoa. But also, once you get to that level.
You just didn't get your black belt.
Exactly.
Right.
No, when you get to that level, you're making 7 figures out the gate.
Damn.
But the problem is, you make 7 figures, but you're a nerd. So
right.
you ain't got no chicks.
Hey, man, can you?
You got all this money. You playing Fortnite.
Yeah, you the one they bringing the lattes to at the strip club.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, man.
That's
hey, man,
crazy.
can you hack? Or do you know enough to be nervous?
No, Bro, I used to, MP3s? Remember that?
Yes.
I used to be in the biggest MP3 ripping group. Shout out to RNS, Rabid Universo.
Yeah.
I used to work at Rockefeller.
Oh no.
And I leaked some of their stuff.
You were the guy?
I was the guy. And I've said this several times. Shout out to Jay. You remember me.
Hey, man. So you would be the one that when somebody say, man, we don't know how this got leaked.
No.
At some point, you
literally, I was in the room like, oh, jeez.
Oh.
There's a version of Hey Poppy from the Nutty Professor soundtrack, but it's the solo version with Jay-Z. There's no Memphis Bleak. There's no Emil on it. And if you find the MP3, I'm in the text info file. It says Desus.
Yeah, hey,
what is that, like a code word in the file or something?
You did that?
Yeah, like, no, because I had nothing else going on. I was a little nerd. So, no, I was like a teenager at the time. But basically what happens is, like, you would take the CD, you'd use a program like Winamp or something, you'd encode the MP3, and then you uploaded it to the ripping group's main server, and then you had a text file you put in it where you talk your trash against the other ripping groups, and you'd be like, yo, we does this, da-da-da. And then
so it's competition?
No, it got so big, we got raided by the FBI, and people went to jail. It was Operation Sun Devil. Google it if you want. And then so I come into the chat room one day and no one's in there, and everyone's like, "I thought you went to jail." And I was like, "Oh wow, I should probably not log off." So
yeah, that's crazy, dude. No. Are you afraid of tech? Not afraid because you know enough that should we be afraid of it?
Yes.
Yeah, man.
In the wrong hands, for sure.
In the wrong hands, and like the reasons why people are making technology. Like people right now, they're making AI and they're like, oh, we want to help people. We want to change the world. But at the same time, you're looking at people and like some of the AI companies, when they started, they were like not for profit. And now they shifted for profit. Oh. And now you're like, is this for the good of mankind, or are you trying to make your pockets fatter? And if you're trying to make your pockets fatter, you don't care what it does. And every now and then, we've all seen The Matrix. We've all seen these movies like, yo, don't do this. And every now and then, people are like, yo, the AI did this on its own. And I'm like, how do we stop it if it ever was just like, I'm not listening to you anymore? Yep. Like, because you can't, we're going to shoot the computers? Like, nah, we don't. And we're at the point, like, I don't even think we can, like, pull the plug because it's probably going to be like, nah, I'll find electricity somewhere else. So, like, I'm fine. But I'm not like.
Do facial recognition? For like accounts and stuff like that?
Bro, I was at the new Oracle Stadium. Have you been?
No.
Bro, you can't get there without the app. And when you use the app, you have to scan your face. If you park there, you have to scan your license plate. When you go into the souvenir store,
man,
the app recognizes your face and they say your name.
Hey, dude, that Intuit.
Yep, it's just like that.
Yeah, the Intuit is the same, man.
No, that's where I was at.
The Oracle, the Intuit.
Yes.
Yeah, the Intuit Dome, bro. Yeah.
So no, I'm in the lounge and I'm like trying to buy beer, and I was like to the guy, like, how much is that? And he's like, no, you can't pay cash. It has to be through the app, which means you have to link it to your Apple Pay, which is wild. And when you come, like, it just scans your face and charges you when you leave. Also, there's like food. When you pick up the food, no one says anything to you. You get the food, you go sit down, you eat it. When you leave, you get this charge from the stadium for all the food you picked up because the camera scanned your face to pick up the food.
Hey, man, and we think like this is genius and this is technology, but that's scary to me.
It's scary because, and then you start, it's happening everywhere. Like, I fly a lot. And you get to the point now, some airlines, you don't even have to show your passport. They just scan your face. They're like, oh, here you go. You go on this flight, whatever. And I'm like, I didn't say anything to you. And like, no, we got all your info. And it's just like, half of the population is like, yo, that makes life easier. Right. And the rest of us, like, we're just like nervous about it. But it seems like we're losing the war.
Yeah.
Like, that's just what it's going to be.
Yeah, bro.
But I mean, at the same time, I love Face ID. I ain't really trying to.
Okay, so you're not tripping off of that?
Yeah, like you have
You do emojis and all that kind of stuff too?
I'm not that washed yet, but
right, yeah.
If you do emojis, people be like, yo, how old are you?
Yeah.
Like, you gotta.
Because I'm just saying, man, it was some emoji years ago that people were like, oh, get an emoji.
Yeah.
And then when I saw like the release and all, I was like, nah, I think I'm straight.
Yeah, the Bitmojis and all that.
The Bitmojis. Yeah, I'm like, nah, I think I'm straight with that. Yeah.
All that, because this is like, you gotta like customize it, dress it up. I'm like, all right, it's like having a kid. I'm not trying to do all this.
Hey, man, what about bootlegs?
As far as what?
Have you done any bootlegs because you got you had the technology back
I used to, in high school, when I was in the MP3 ripping group, I used to like buy CDRs and burn them.
Oh, my God.
And just
You're
sell them.
that guy.
I was that guy. And so now imagine just like I'm at my house and like order of like 500 CDRs and just 500 jewel cases would just show up. And my parents are like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Mind your business."
Yeah. How do you think we keep the lights on?
But because we were the MP3
You told me to
ripping
earn
group,
my keep.
we would have albums before they dropped. So people were just buying them from me, like in school and stuff. Like, they were like, "How you got this?" I'm like, "Shh."
Hey, man, you know what this reminds me of? You know how you have the guy that's like the hacker, and then they hire him to for security. You're that guy.
Yes.
Because you were the one that did all the stuff.
We were doing all that. Like, we found, because it wasn't like doing it just to be bad. It was like a challenge to see if you could do it. And the thing is, like, companies were like, "There's no way you're going to hack this." And it was like, "Oh, really?"
Yeah, man.
All right, let's go.
Is anything safe?
The only thing safe, and as a computer expert, I'll say this: the only thing safe is anything not connected to the internet. If you have a computer and it's right there and there's no internet access to it, that's the only thing safe. If it's connected to the internet at any point, at any level, it could be hacked.
What about when people say the black market?
Oh, the black market, that with the Bitcoin and buying the drugs and all that stuff.
How do you feel about Bitcoin?
You know what? Bitcoin right now is going strong. If you have Bitcoin and you've held it, you can't. But the problem is when you cash out. That's when they hit you with the wild taxes. Oh, yeah. And you just got to hold on to it. You got the value.
Everything.
You know what it is? I'm nosy.
Right.
It's not like I'm knowledgeable. I just got my nose in everyone's business.
Hey, man, before Desus, they called you Jesus?
No, Desus is actually a play on that because they were just like, my actual name is Daniel.
Right.
And I was so good with computers. It was like, yo, he does like miracles. He's like,
so
Jesus.
Did they call you Jesus?
So D plus Jesus.
Yeah, Desus.
Yes.
And
a lot of people think that's my actual name.
Right,
And I'm like, at what point would my mother look at a little baby and be like, your name is Jesus? Like, that's not happening.
Hold on, man.
And also,
Your
a lot of
mom
people
is
think,
black, though, right?
Yes.
We've seen some of these names, bro.
You've seen some of them.
Yeah,
but they're also Jamaican.
I can guarantee you, since you've been on, there's a kid out there that somebody watch your show, and there's a kid out there named Desus. Not your kid,
man.
but somebody named their kid.
If you name your kid Desus, reach out to me. I will send him a cameo or something.
Yeah.
No tuition.
Yeah. You don't want to get yourself caught up out there.
Had to catch myself.
Hey, man, I love how you said a cameo or something like that. Hey, man, I do have to ask you, because I enjoy Desus and Mero, the show.
Yes.
What happened? Because I never knew what happened.
You know, things just happen.
Right.
Things just happen. Like, I'd rather not get into it.
Understood.
That kind of thing.
Right. But give me something, because just I'd rather not get into it is not it's not good. You know what I'm saying? Like,
people grow.
Okay, that's good.
What people want differs depending on what's going on in your life.
That's good too. See how you gave me a little bit more?
Listen.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Do y'all still talk?
No.
Okay, well, I think I'll stop right there then.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, Desus, you got to know you're out.
Right.
Yeah.
I gave you that right there. I gave you that.
But you know what, man?
Very
I
clear.
really enjoyed the work.
I thank you, and I really
y'all
enjoyed
built
making
something,
it,
man. Yeah.
And like people to this day are always like, "Yo, I love the show. Got me through so much. Got me through COVID. Got me through parents' death. Got me through just depression and stuff like that."
And y'all did what y'all had to do,
right?
Like we can sit and say, "I enjoyed the show."
Right.
You got me through situations, and so that was what we got out of it.
Right. And at the end of the day, that will always stand the test of time. That product is right there. And, just proud to be a part of that.
Hey, man, and we were out there talking about the and. And I was telling her, I said, man, with me, I was big boy from. You know what I'm saying? My last station, I was there for 21 years. You know what I'm saying? Power 106. And I was there so I was always, big boy from Power 106. So when I made a move for me and my family, I was like, that from is a mother effer, boy. You know what I'm saying? And I was wondering, I was like, man, will people follow me? Because my identity by default was this from, and so when I stepped out on faith almost 10 years later, it's still me, but I still get people that call me big boy from Power 106, and I don't correct anyone.
Right.
And that's what I was telling you too, that and could be so when you had Desus and Mero, even though y'all were individuals,
right,
it's that and. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's even worse than that, because the amount of people who see me in the street and be like, Mero! And I'm like, The other one.
Yeah.
Like, dog. Like,
The other guy.
I'm like, how? I was like, they're like, I'm a big fan. I was like, how are you a big fan? You can't tell the difference between us. Like,
Oh man, let me tell you.
I was like, there's kind of like big contrast between us. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Like, really?
Like, one, like I'm dark mode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, man.
But
I love how they're super fans. Though.
Right.
I get people that tell me every day, Desus, man, I listen to you every day. I'm like, I haven't been there in like 10 years.
I get people. The other day, a TSA agent was like, "Yo, bro, watch you every night with my girl," and I was like, "Does
Like,
your
really?
girl really exist? Because my show don't come on every night. Like, show ended 3 years ago, bro. Like, what are we really saying?
Like, what year are you living in?
But or people who just like people who know of the show,
Right.
but they never really watched it.
Oh yeah.
But then they just want to lie to me, and I'm just like, don't do that, dude. They be like, "Yo, bro." They be like, "What's your name?" I'm like, "Jesus." They're like, "Oh yeah, you got a show. What's the name of the
Oh,
other
my
guy?"
God.
I'm
Fishing?
like, "Mero." They're like, "What's the name of the show?" I'm like, Desus and Mero.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh yeah, I watch that all the time." I was like, "No, you don't."
Hey, man.
No, you don't.
And you know what's crazy about
There
that
you
too,
go.
Desus, is you know because you already seen. You like I know when someone comes up to me
Yes.
and they know me. Have you ever been taking pictures and somebody take a picture with you because other people have?
Bro.
And you're like, this person don't know who I am.
No, what I love is like they take the picture. What I love is like especially like older white people,
And they'll
they'll
walk
take
away.
a picture and they'll be like, "Where would I know you from?"
Right.
And now, and I'll be like, Desus and Mero. They're like, "Nah, I never heard of it." I'm
Right.
like, "The Daily Show." "Nah, I never seen it." I'm like, "All right, I named 3 things already." Like, is this a job interview? Like, you want my Indeed?
like what am I supposed to tell you? Like, but it's crazy that they took the picture first.
They'll take the picture and
Yeah.
like, and they'll just enjoy it. And I'm like, or my other favorite thing is like 90% of the pictures I take with fans never get posted.
Right,
You
right.
never see it on IG and I'm just
Yeah.
like, where is this picture
You're
going?
in a lot of phones.
So a lot of times, like especially with chicks, I gotta be very careful. Cause I remember one time I took a picture with this girl and she cropped it to make it seem like I was her main boo, and I was like, I don't know this girl,
Right.
Like, and she was just like, and like it was like hearts emoji underneath it, and I was like, yo, you cute,
Nah.
like, but you messing things up for me right now,
Yeah.
like,
like slow down. I get people that take a picture and I hear them walk away like, who was that?
or my favorite, they take a picture that was like, and like they'll show their friend and be like, I can't believe you took a picture with Charlemagne. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm like, sure.
Hey man, I get
God.
it, dude. I get it all the time. I've gotten Charlemagne because he does radio. I do radio.
Right.
I remember one time this dude came up to me. He was like, "Sway."
No.
Yeah, on every. It just recently.
Really?
I was like, man, I think that's the first time I got Sway.
Every now and then you'll get a name and you'll be like, how?
Yeah, man.
Like how? Like I think it was one time someone thought I was Ray J.
but
can
you know
see
what,
that.
dude? No, let me tell you.
Wait, glasses?
If I close my eyes, I can see Ray J. If I close my eyes, yeah.
I got glasses to sell you.
Yeah, hey man, yeah. You know what it is, man. They say we all look alike.
We all look alike.
Yeah,
we all look alike.
Yeah, we all look
At
alike.
least they know somebody. You
Hey
know
man,
what I mean?
but you are a real big sports guy as well.
Love it.
Really though, all sports or what? Do you have a fave?
My
or-
I watch like all the New York sports. I was literally born across the street from the old Yankee Stadium.
Damn.
I'm a diehard Knick fan. I actually started. Shout out to my Knick fan club here in Silver Lake.
Right.
We are 250 deep
Right.
at
Oh,
33 taps.
Hey,
Every
man.
time there's a Knick game there,
Get it,
we
bro.
take that place over. All the Laker fans are like, "What is going on?"
And you say it's 250 of y'all?
Well, we had 250 people at the last playoff game.
Damn.
Like people drove here from Vegas to go to it. And when you go there, it feels like you're in a New York City subway station. Just terrible accents. People talking about pizza.
Right.
People talking
Yeah.
about Yonkers and talking
Yeah,
about...
you like I'm home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's always funny because people go there because it's their local bar and they're like, why are there so many New Yorkers here?
Right.
And you know, New Yorkers love nothing more than being New York and other places and talking about New York.
Oh yeah,
Like,
man.
like you could just be
And
having,
turning it on.
You just have a normal day in LA. You're like, hey, it's a beautiful day in LA. And New Yorker comes through like, yeah, you know who has a more beautiful day? New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ever seen the Statue of Liberty? You guys don't have that. We have pizza.
Hey,
Hey, like,
man,
just stop.
Do
Just
you
stop.
feel like it gets turned on even more so with the accent too, though?
You know what? Now that I've been here a year and a half, with the first year I was here, forget it. I was just the most annoying New Yorker. Just every little thing, I was like, it's better in New York. We got that in New York. New York, we have this. You guys don't have this. Now, like, I realize you can't be that in LA. Because now you're just annoying.
Right here, right.
You're just annoying.
Yeah.
And then, like, it's like annoying. I'll be at a bar and I'll see other New Yorkers that just moved here and they're doing that. And I'm just like, look at this rookie.
Yeah.
You know, like, come on, bro.
You just got here.
You just got here, bro. Calm it down.
Yeah, it's gonna
Calm it
take you
down.
about 12 to 18
They're
months.
like, bro, nothing's open till 4 a.m. here. I was like, yeah, that's LA.
Yeah.
That's LA. And that's the other thing. Like, you can't come to LA and be like, yo, it's not like this place, because it's not like this place. You have to embrace LA for what LA is. If you're going against the current of LA, you're going to have a hard time here.
Oh, yeah.
If you can just, you have to become an LA person. You got to chill. You gotta relax. You gotta be able to go to the lake in Echo Park and just chill. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
Go to Little Joy, have your little beverage, go have some tacos in Boyle Heights. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be in LA. See, I know these places.
Win in LA, huh?
Win in LA, you know what I'm saying? Go kick it old school in living room with the old heads. I'll play West Coast songs, and they're like, I haven't heard this in years. And I was like, yo, y'all should be playing this. Like, I'm turning up to E40, tell me when to go. And they're like, oh my God, he's playing gospels. Like,
hey, man, but you figured it out, though.
I figured it out, and I'm loving it.
And plus, with your mind, you were probably studying, too. Like, you know, it's like that Terminator.
Hell yeah.
Because in my head, like, actually, one thing I am working on, we might be opening a pizzeria in Silver Lake.
Oh.
Shout out to Finney's Pizza in Williamsburg. That's my guy's spot.
And
we will, you know what I'm saying? There's always people out there when the clubs close at 2 a.m. You got 4100, you got Black Cat and all that stuff right there. If you could just get like a slice to go home with,
yeah, man.
right there.
A New York slice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do pizza taste different to you still?
You know what?
From LA?
It does, but the thing is, like, I know I don't come here expecting a New York slice.
Right.
And then also here in LA, you guys do like that high level pizza. Like
too much shit on it?
Just pizza with cheeses I never heard of before. Like,
Yeah.
you know, just or even the pizza looks high class. It's not like cut like this.
I hate it.
It's small. You know what I'm saying? The pizza looks artisanal.
Yeah,
The pizza looks like it went to college.
Yeah,
and I'm just like,
hey man, I went to this one spot. It was damn. It's like I forget what it's called, but it's got all these little restaurants and little shops where you can get salami and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, they have these restaurants in there, and pizza slices was like $12 or some shit like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and it was like, but pizza I wouldn't even eat. I'm like, dude, who want pizza with caramelized onions and
they got weird stuff
truffle
like
bits and
pizza with Gouda and candy corn.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
and the thing is, like, they be like, we got one slice left. I'm like, who's eating this? Like,
man. Yeah, I don't want no camel pizza.
No.
Like,
The whole hot honey thing is like a big thing
that's a
nowadays.
big thing here.
Yeah, see, I don't do hot
Oh,
honey.
it's so good. It started in New York, didn't it? At Ruby Rosa, that's like their #1 pizza with the hot honey.
That's the thing. Like,
Leave
if
it
you
there.
have like
No,
a
it's
pizza
so
store
good.
that has a name in New York, I can't go there. I gotta go to the hood pizza store.
Yeah, man.
If your pizza store don't got like a cat and some bulletproof windows,
Yeah, man.
pizza ain't gonna be good. Like,
Yeah.
you should feel like your life is in danger anytime you get pizza.
Hey,
in New
dude,
York.
that's exactly why you see the thing that went out on social media with me stopping at that spot getting that.
Oh yeah.
I
At the
knew
taco.
like that's where you go.
That's where you go.
Like, yeah, you
gotta risk a little.
Yeah, man, you got to. And that, you
Yeah.
know, and
You
that
look
keep
around,
you on swivel
Risk
too.
for
Yeah.
reward.
It keep you on swivel. You know what I'm saying?
Keeps you humble.
Yeah, yeah, it does, bro. Yeah, it does. So you say all the New York teams are yours?
Yes, I love the Knicks. I love the Yankees. I even watch the Rangers, which is also interesting. The hockey
Jesus
team,
Christ.
because like I'll really be at the stadium and people are like, you're Desus, and I'm like, how do you know? They're like, you're the only black fan of the
Yeah.
team.
Wow.
Literally, I'll be in there and be looking like January 6th. I'm like, I'm like, oh.
Like, this is
They're like, who you voted for? I was like, I'll tell you after.
Like, this is a different hood here, man. Hey, man, now we just came out of not even out of an election year.
Yes.
But we see that Donald Trump is back in, bro.
He's back.
Were you watching a lot of that with, and even when we talk about technology and you see like, you know, the Mark Zuckerberg saying, hey, and Elon Musk, like, oh my God,
Elon
bro.
just turned Twitter into a Trump machine.
Yeah, man.
Like, Twitter used to be fun. Used to be on there like, hey, look at my little outfit. And now you go on there, you be like, hey, it's a sunny day. They be like, oh, look at you, black monkey. You like,
Yeah.
I'm like, where did all that come from?
Yeah, man.
And you can't even like block the people anymore. Like they
Crazy.
be up front with it now. Like,
Hey, yeah, man.
so it's just like, no, I watched the election. I actually was at a sushi restaurant, and I was just watching. I had like a bottle of soju, and I was just sitting there just taking shots, like,
Yeah.
and like it was funny. This lady next to me, we didn't talk the whole night, but every time we locked eyes, we just shook our heads.
Yeah, man.
because it was like scary.
Early on, that math wasn't mathing either.
The math
though,
wasn't
bro.
mathing, and it was just like it happened really fast.
Yeah, it did.
It happened really.
Hey,
I
dude,
thought-
we literally was like, oh, okay, you know what? they probably might not have. For one, the whole run with people like, oh, it's gonna be so tight. It's gonna be so tight. And then we were even in the neighborhood. We were like, we probably may not even have a decision
for a
by
couple
tomorrow.
days.
Yeah. So we was like, oh, we got to be vague, so on and so forth. Man, my man was like, no, y'all having a decision to now,
Bro,
not tonight.
It was like last call at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. They turned the lights up. They was like, go home. I was like, oh man.
Like, yeah, but we saw that one coming.
I was like, yo. And it's just like, it's weird because even Donald Trump is not out here gloating. He's laying low right now.
Yeah.
He's like, and now it's scary because like usually he be on Twitter talking crazy. He's like, I'm a ban soda. Like I'm gonna kick every panda out of America.
Right, yeah.
And now he's just chilling. Like you're like, what's he about to say?
Yeah, man.
And then it's also wild because he's appointing people to his
my
cabinet,
God, bro.
and it's just like the most random people.
Yeah.
He's just like, yo, Chris Brown's in charge of the military. And you're like, I'm like, did you even know him? Like,
hey man, and even with that, was it Dogecoin?
The Dogecoin.
Hey
I'm
man,
so excited.
even with like for one, now I understand why Elon Musk, why he purchased Twitter.
It makes sense now.
You know what I'm saying?
It was a long gamble.
Yeah, it wasn't it,
It
though.
was.
When you see like, man, he put 46 B's on that or something like that. You're like, man, why? Now, man, the narrative and the control of speech, everything. It was a beautiful investment,
Yeah,
I guess.
To gamble 46B.
Yeah, man.
First of all, to have 46B to gamble.
Yeah, man.
That's different.
Yeah.
Wasn't he giving like $1 million per person who was like actually voting for
Yeah, he was
Trump?
doing the
He was doing
contest,
it-
like
yeah.
not
Like
voting for Trump, registered.
Oh, registering.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Come on.
But you know what the
bro.
thing is? He has all that money. He has no swag. He has absolutely no swag.
And
If
like
you
10
see him,
kids or
you see
something.
when he jumps in the air and he got the pot belly
Yeah.
cooking out. And the other thing, if you look, Elon never posts photos of himself.
Right.
He always posts AI photos of himself where he looks rugged and sexy. Cause when you see a real photo of him, like you can see he burns in the sunlight. You know what I'm saying? Like, he gets windy when he gets off the couch. That, like, he ain't shit.
Do you look at all that? Do you follow or tap in with all that?
All that.
Yeah.
People around me, they're just like, you're just constantly just watching. Because like, if you're around me, you'll see I'll be watching like the news and on Twitter at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like even worse now because what I do, I'll watch KCLA and then I'll watch New York 1. So I know what's going on both coasts while I'm watching Twitter. And then I'll go to MSNBC.
Yeah, because you're well versed in a whole lot, bro.
You gotta like, there's so much going on, and I just want to know everything.
Yeah,
I just want to know. Like, that's what I loved about coming out here to LA. Just like every day was a new experience, a new neighborhood, a new restaurant,
right,
new people,
right. All of it was new to you.
And so, like, I was, just like a sponge, just absorbing it. And I remember, like, when I used to come to LA for work, the only place I would ever be is WeHo. That's the only place. The only thing I knew was like the Beanery and Delilah. Like,
wow.
So I was like, well, every LA club sucks. Like,
Right,
if you in Delilah, everything sucks. But like now, actually being in real neighborhoods and being with people in their actual houses and not being in a hotel and going to the restaurants and clubs that actual LA people go to, you get a completely different experience of the city. Because I get now why a lot of people from New York, they're like, yo, I hate this about LA. I hate this. Because like, if you only stay in WeHo and Hollywood,
Right.
You're
You're
not
not
seeing
in
LA.
LA.
You're
Yeah.
not seeing LA.
Yeah.
And it's also like, once you get to know LA, people are like, yo, I can't wait to go to Hollywood, go to the Walk of Fame. I was like, you don't want to go there. I was like,
Hey, man.
I was like, yo, it's scary over there.
That's what I tell people all the time, bro.
I'm
Like,
like,
you
yo.
don't want to go to the Hollywood Walk of Fame. You don't want to go to the Chinese theater.
You don't want to do all that. You want to stay
Man.
far away from there. You want
Yeah.
to see Michael Jackson on fentanyl fighting Elmo? Like, no.
Yeah,
Stay
man.
away
It gets ugly.
Stay away from there.
Hey man, in a dirty ass Spider-Man or
It's-
something.
No,
like,
and one of them touch you, and then they ask for money, and now you like, I gotta get a rabies shot. Like,
yeah, man. And they do smooth be out there fighting over territory.
fighting,
Yeah, man.
and you like, oh, this is established.
Yeah, and,
like,
and that's real that you said when people come out like, man, I gotta go. You're like, nah.
yeah.
No, you don't.
And they're like, yo, we gonna go to the Hollywood sign. I was like, no, we ain't.
yeah.
I was like, I'll take you somewhere you can see it. We ain't going all the way up.
Right,
there.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. I've been out here my whole life, and I've never been to the Hollywood sign.
It's similar to
Now,
like,
I can show you where to look at it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can tell you get on the Bray or something. You could look, but I'm not gonna take you.
it's
up
like
there.
I'm a born and bred New Yorker. I've never been to the Statue of Liberty.
Right,
and
yeah, see?
I have absolutely no
Really?
desire to go to the Statue of Liberty.
And see, I've
It's
been
too far. Like I don't really like boats. I'll be honest with you.
Right.
I'm not a big boat person.
Right, I hear you.
We get it.
Hell
But
yeah.
also, like, it's like before 9/11, you used to be able to go to the top of the Statue of Liberty, and now you can't. So I'm like, so we're gonna go to this island. I'm gonna look at her feet, and then we get back on the
Right.
boat. Like,
Hey, man,
I'm
speaking of-
kinky. I'm not kinky like that.
Speaking of statues, man, did you see Dwayne Wade's statue?
I did.
Yeah, man.
I did. I respect the sentiment. but
Right.
You know,
not the artist.
Yeah,
also,
man.
shout out to D-Wade, that's the homie. He was just so positive about it.
Yeah.
And he was like, it doesn't have to look like me. It represents me. I'm like, don't worry. Like, I understand you're not trying to hurt their feelings. I'd be like, yo, what is this?
Hey,
Whose
man.
man's is this?
Hey man, what did he say about if I wanted it to look like me, I would just stand out there in front of it, like, come on.
You know, the designer and his manager was looking at it like, close enough.
Hey man,
If it don't look
do
like-
you know when something's not right and you hope other people don't? That's that thing when they're like, oh God, they about to unveil it.
It's like when you get in a haircut, and then the barber got to call over another barber, and they both looking there like, and then they turn your head a little, and like, I'm like, oh, you messed my joint up. Oh man.
That's when they like, yeah, man.
Yeah. Or they kick you out the chair too fast. You be like, yo, where's the alcohol? He's like, yeah. You're like, oh man.
Yeah, that's what that looked like. Even when he turned around, he was like, what the fuck?
You leaving? He give you the weak dap. He like, I'm like, oh man.
Hey man, that's what that felt like. I was like, man, it's not supposed to look like me. Well, who's supposed to look like?
What is the symbol now? It's just a
Yeah.
symbol
It's just like,
of him.
and the thing is, like, you can't go like, yo, can you redo the statue?
Yeah.
Right.
The statue is done. He has to have that. So I guess
crazy.
Yeah,
that's
man.
a wild statue.
Hey
though.
man, people are literally going to go take pictures, and I love D-Wade. I love the family, man. But people are really going and looking at it and taking pictures. Like,
if
who
you
is
just take a
this?
picture of that statue and show it to people are like, well, who?
Oh yeah,
is
man.
Like, is that Martin
Hey,
Luther
dude,
King?
You,
Who's that? Yeah.
you can literally play. I got $1,000 in my pocket. Who is this?
Nobody gonna get it. No, they'll be like, oh, that's the head of the WGA. Like,
Yeah. Hey man, we got people that they probably have. Maybe that statue is just in there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they said, man, knock out a jersey number and put it out there, man. We just happen to have one here.
They just got all these backup statues just
Yeah.
on deck.
Yeah.
They
like,
made
wait.
They made statues for NBA players who ain't even supposed to get statues. They got a Raymond Felton statue ready to go in China. Like
just go, just put it out there.
put it out there. Throw a Nick
man.
jersey on them.
Yeah, hey man, but that's what it looked like. And D Wade got such a great. I mean, everything in the rear view and whatever he's doing in his, in the future too. But it was like, damn.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw, and we always say, man, you had one job.
Yes.
Yeah.
You had one job.
But D-Wade is the right person to handle that.
Right.
Because it's not just media training. He's a great guy.
Who would have had a situation with that?
Oh, just everyone else. Like, could you imagine, like, Allen Iverson?
Turning around and looking at that.
He
Can
had
you
one
imagine
too.
Dennis Rodman
Dennis
turning around
Rodman,
looking at that?
Latrell Sprewell?
Man,
man.
Gilbert
Someone
Arenas.
getting choked.
Latrell Sprewell. Oh, yeah.
Someone getting choked.
Yeah. Gilbert Arenas.
Gilbert Arenas.
He would let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some
so
people-
it did happen to the right
Oh.
person. It did happen to the right person.
Remember how they did Allen Iverson? I think they did a one
Oh, the
for
little
him,
statue?
but it was a mini one.
Was that in Philly?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
No, because over, like, the statue, the Kobe statue
he
over
was holding
there.
it like this.
Oh, wow. That's the thing over at Staples or / crypto. They have the Kobe statue,
Yeah, man.
and they're small. But the thing is, people on the internet were like, oh my God, like, why would they give him such a small statue? But all the statues are the same size over there. So once you go over
Yeah.
there, it makes sense.
Yeah,
Right.
it makes perfect
But a lot of
sense.
people are just like, oh, that's disrespectful.
But it's not
there.
handheld.
No, it's not handheld.
Yeah, no, the one that we
No,
talking about
the
with
Allen
AI
Iverson
was
was very
handheld.
small.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was like,
Come on,
Yeah.
Philly. You got to do better than that.
yeah, it was handheld, man. What about LeBron and Bronny?
You know
'Cause
what?
I know your sports card is.
I'm a sports. I'm not hating on that.
Right.
I enjoy a little.
I loved it, man.
I love a little nepotism.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Hell yeah! I wish I would have suffered from it.
Right. My whole thing is like I would never want to be in the same occupation as my father.
Right.
Because he's super picky. So like I know my father. If I messed up a pass, he'd be like, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah.
Try to put me over his knee and beat me at halftime. I'm like,
Get in the back. Get
Get
in the
here.
back. Come here.
Yeah.
Get over here.
just yelling at me in the huddle, like, you know who messed up? You. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Damn.
come
Hey
on,
man, what
son.
kind of work did or does your father do?
My father, he was a bank manager. He was like he used to own real estate.
Okay.
But he'd buy like messed up property and fix it up.
Okay.
you
So
you never that was never in you?
bro, I've had every job. So
Yeah.
at 14, I was a construction worker.
Right. Yeah.
No legal papers or anything.
No license.
No license because you don't need legal papers when you're working for your father.
Right.
Flipping
yeah.
houses over there.
And this is the thing.
Yeah.
So he it was a crack house in the Bronx.
Uh-oh.
So we had to clean it up. It was me and my uncle, because my uncle does construction. And so we had to gut it and like renovate it so they could rent it out. The thing about a crack house is,
Oh my Lord.
let's go, the bathroom.
Oh yeah.
Because once they turn off the water, you can't flush anymore.
Oh my God, man.
The thing is, that doesn't stop people from using the bathroom.
Oh.
So the toilet is full
Oh.
and crusted over.
Dog.
We're not done. Wait. Toilet's full, crusted over. Where do they start going now?
Oh no.
The bathtub. So my job is you have to scoop all this out using a shovel into like a compound bucket and then take it out to the dumpster. And then when it's all said and done, you take out the toilet, throw it in the dumpster. You take out the bathtub, you throw it in the dumpster. And I'm just doing all this, no mask, no gloves.
Right.
And I'm getting paid. I'm getting like fed. Like it was wild because I was having the same breakfast as my uncle who was like 60. So it's like 7 in the morning. I'm having coffee and one bagel. I'm just talking like an old Jamaican man. Like,
Here you go, Daniel.
Yeah.
Smoking a
How old
cigarette.
are you?
I was like 14. They're playing. It's like there's a channel in New York called CBS FM, and they just play music from like the 50s. So I'm like doing this, listening to, big boys don't cry. I'm like, am I in the Sopranos? Like this is.
Yeah. Oh man, so you have paid a lot of
you
tuition.
did
to
it,
the
I'm
bro.
not so like no. Also, I'm coming home to my friends at like 8 o'clock. They're like, "Let's go play." I'm like, "Bro, I got another day of work tomorrow, man."
Yeah, I gotta go to work.
Bro, I gotta go.
So
soak
you're
these
not
bunions.
you're not afraid of hard work.
No,
not
but,
now.
No, I'm not afraid of hard work. And recipes. My father died this year.
Yes. Oh man.
And the thing is,
in 2024.
yeah, in like February. And the thing is, we weren't always close, but we got super close towards the end, especially during the writer's strike, because he was saying to me, he was like, the idea you're not working is wild. Because he's like, all I know you from is working.
Right.
You've always had a job your whole life. So he's like, you're just in LA, just existing. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, that has to be driving you insane. And
Was
it was.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. Because the idea of not working, that's all I know. I get so much intrinsic value of myself from the idea that I work and just being able to work with people. And anyone that's ever worked with me, if you talk to them, they'll be like, Desus is the easiest person to work with. He's professional. He's always on time. Like,
Hey
he's
man,
good.
even your team was like, is 10 o'clock the start time or 10 o'clock the arrival time?
Right.
Because they was like, he loved to be on time. And I was like, damn.
No, I'm on time to the point it's problematic for other people. Like, if you're like, be there at 10, I'll show up at 9:45 and like receptionists will be like, they'll be like, what? They'll be like, we got nowhere to put you. Like,
What do we do?
So, but no, that's my thing. And it's just like, even like recently, the project with Scottie, just the idea of when they put the lav mic, the backpack on your back, that feels like putting on a jersey.
Yeah,
Or
that's you.
going to war. And it's like, you're back. Like, yo, let's get this. So, just working, it's just like, I love it.
Yeah, but
I love it.
you got away from the construction side. Though.
You know what? I got away from it.
There's no Bronny and LeBron on that though.
But I always remember that. So
right?
even
Hell yeah, you do. Same.
Just like Jay-Z said, my worst day today is still better than my best day back then.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
even when you have days where you're just like, like even we were filming, I think we were filming an episode with Scottie the other day, and the prompter wasn't working. Like the prompter, like they had to do manual. They were doing it
my
manually,
God.
and it's just like, and like you see, like the crew is stressing out because it's like the last 10 minutes of the show, and everyone wants to go home. It's been a long day and everything, and you're getting frustrated. But at the same time, I'm like, think about when you worked in the office. Think about when you had to be there at 9 a.m. Your boss is just busting you for no reason. Now you're right here. You're getting paid how much money to just read it from a prompter for Draft Kings and HartBeat.
Right, yeah, man.
Like that person when worked in the office would take this day 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, man.
And you can never forget that day.
That's what I tell people too. People ask me sometimes, man, do you get tired of such and such? You get tired of taking pictures? I'm like, man, I said, dude, I know what problems are.
Exactly.
And taking pictures or saying hello to somebody, that's not a problem.
Yeah, the other day, some girl on the street was like, "Oh my God, I want to bother you for a picture." I'm like, "That's not bothering me."
Yeah.
Because my other thing is like, listen, I'll take a picture as long as it's not a mugshot. So,
Right, yeah,
you know what I'm
hell
saying?
yeah.
Let's
That's
go.
real talk, man.
Let's go.
And I always tell people, I say, man, I would rather you ask for the picture. And it's not a problem when you ask. It's a problem when someone don't ask. They don't
Yeah.
want your picture.
Yeah.
They don't give a damn about you. For you to come up and ask for a picture, bro, that's why I take every picture.
Yeah.
Every picture, man. If I'm eating, people are like, don't bother me while I'm eating. If I'm eating, you just happen to see me at a restaurant,
Yeah.
I'm going to take the picture.
Yeah,
Why am I
because
penalizing
without that
you?
person asking for the picture, I would not have my career. That
Oh, yeah.
person consumes my work. This person listens to me, checks out my interviews and stuff like that. The least I could do is a picture.
Yeah,
You know?
man. Are you about to do a travel show as well?
I am.
Jesus Christ, you are
On
Jamaican.
Amazon, yes.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to Amazon.
So, what is the travel show that you're doing on Amazon?
Well, technically, I'm not allowed to speak about it. I'll tell
Okay.
you a little bit, though.
Yeah, give me
It's
what you
not
can.
really a travel show. It's an experience show.
Oh, I love that.
It's about going a place and being a part of the country or culture
Oh,
you're going
my
to
God.
and not being a tourist. Like what?
So you
would
getting in?
getting in there, meeting
Okay.
actual people there, and living the actual life there.
You know what I love about that, man? When I go places, I like going to what people say, oh, the locals. I love hitting the real turf.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you getting those kind of experiences.
That's what I do when I travel. What I love to do, especially like I just recently went to Portland and I'm at some random bar when I touched down and I said to the bartender, I was like, what's the most touristy spot in Portland that everyone goes to? And she was like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, where would you send me? And she was
Right.
like, oh, the real people go here.
Yeah.
So
that's
right
what
away,
I do with food.
Yeah. So then, like, you could just get stuff because if you Google or Chat GPT stuff, it's like go here, go here, go here. You're not gonna get the authentic places to go. Because also, you know, locals have to gatekeep their real stuff. You don't want just everybody being at the spot you really rock with.
Right.
So once you learn, and they're like, "Yo, I could trust you. I feel comfortable telling you this thing because you're not gonna blow it up." Or
That's
make
what
it
I
hot.
tell people. I'm like, man, where do you eat?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, not this, not but where. If you wanted to eat, where would you? And then that's when you get real conversation
real
and get
thing.
real places that you're going.
It's like I was in Maui and I was staying at the Andes Resort, this super expensive resort. I didn't book it, so
Right.
But just talking to the staff.
I love
and
how you said I didn't book.
No,
you,
I don't
man.
want like listen, I get money. I ain't got money like that. But just talking to the staff, I was talking to one bartender and she was like, my father built this hotel knowing that my family will ever be rich enough to stay at this hotel. And I was like, what? And just talking to the people in Maui, and it was like, yo, people think Maui is beautiful. There's a big problem with homelessness there.
Yeah, man.
It's very expensive to live there. They just had all those fires. A lot of people lost their houses there.
Yeah.
And just talking to the actual employees, I was like, oh, well, this bar is cool at the hotel. There was like nobody in Maui would ever come to this bar. There's like a bar where actual hotel employees go to.
Right.
And that's like the real spot for real natives. And that kind of thing is just like, you have to talk to people to actually find out these kind of things. And hopefully that's what comes across on the show.
Do you ever make it back to Jamaica?
That's cool.
I'm supposed to go back in January.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But that's another one too, man, where you'll go. And I remember I've been to Jamaica a few times. I remember I was talking to one of these dudes by the name of a couple of them named Spence and Egbert. They worked at the hotel.
Yeah.
But they were just breaking down like, we couldn't stay here. You know what I'm saying? How long? What my man was like, I'm the accountant
Yes.
for the hotel. When you do all inclusive, I'm the one who balance out and do all the all inclusive stuff. And at that time, he said my pay is equivalent to about $1 an hour US.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jamaica's wild like that. I need to go back, but the problem is where my family's from in Jamaica is way up in the hills.
Right.
Like, I got old family members, and they're like, nah, we don't need electricity. And I'm like, yeah, we kind of do.
Right.
We kinda do. Like, I'm like,
why not?
Like, I'm like, oh, it's dark in here. They're like, yo, go get kerosene for the lantern. I was like, it's 2024. Why are we living like medieval times? But think about it, their whole life, they've never had it, so why would they need it now? And then, like, I just come, and they're like, you're such a Yankee. And I'm like, because I want Wi-Fi? Like, dog, we need this.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm like, yo, you have, like, they don't have TV. They have, like, shortwave radio. And I'm like,
Are you serious?
I was like, are we pirates?
but
like,
but you know what I love about this, man? They're probably so untainted.
they're so
with
untainted.
all the stuff that we go through and we see every day.
I get that, but I'm also on TV, so could you support your nephew?
Right,
like,
right.
Watch my show?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, so they don't even know that you a
they
star.
don't know. They think I'm unemployed. They're like, we heard you got no job. I was like, I have a job. It's
Yeah.
television. That's not a real thing.
Yeah,
So,
television.
Yes.
Wow.
So I gotta get on shortwave radio for my cousins. I gotta be like breaker 15. Yeah.
Hilarious.
Welcome to the show.
Copy.
This is Desus.
Copy.
Wow.
This is Desus Nice over.
Hey, man, but we know it's crazy how certain things are valuable.
Yeah.
Or need so-called needed. And other people just like, oh, I'm cool. Like my brother, rest in peace, my brother Keith never had a cell phone.
Right.
And I always took that as like, damn, he never had a cell phone and never tripped off of it.
Yeah. And every now and then I'll see somebody and they live without something, and I'm like, that seems strange to me. At the same time, it's like, why do I need that? Like,
Right,
if this
yeah.
person could live without that.
Yeah, man.
Why do I why am I like I know people in my life that are not on social media at all. And so I'll show them something from Twitter. And they're like, oh, that's interesting. And they just go about their business.
Right.
And meanwhile, I'm there, like, if I'm not checking Twitter every 30 seconds, I'm like scratching my neck like a fiend.
Right.
So, like, and I see that. I'm like, wow.
But your gig and your livelihood, the same with Ani, is connected
to it.
to that.
But it's just like, is that good or bad?
Do you have an addictive personality? You think?
Oh,
When
yeah.
something,
Oh.
you just want to go all.
Oh, I got the
all
hot
in?
hand. I got the hot hand on the dice game, brother.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Listen.
I hate.
No,
that
I know
sometimes.
I do have an addictive personality, but thankfully, like I've lived such a wild life.
Yeah.
Like probably everything that would make me I would be addicted to, I've probably done already.
You already done?
Yeah. No, like
That's dope.
Do you think you're addicted to social media?
I am.
Yeah.
Because for like 2 months I was locked out of my Twitter account.
Oh,
And so
why?
because I got a new MacBook and the password was locked on the old MacBook and the new one it didn't I was using 2FA, which is when you log into Twitter, you get a code sent to your phone.
Yeah, it's an
But-
authenticator
The
too.
authenticator. But remember when Elon bought Twitter, he broke that.
Yeah,
So if you have that now and you don't turn it off before you change your password, you're locked out your account.
completely.
Literally, I had to
And you're the computer guy though, and you were out for 2 months.
bro, to get back in, me and my people, we had to like meet people who worked at Twitter and basically like take them to dinner and get them to turn my account back on. I'm not lying.
That's what's happening with my Facebook account right now.
Yeah, no, you have to like
Like-
find people and like people who work at Twitter. They'll be like, "Yo, don't tell anyone I did this for you," because the amount of
Damn.
people that will hit them up, and like there are people in New York that'll be like, "Yo, I'll get your account back for $15K."
Jesus.
Wow.
And the thing is, like, you're like, that's ridiculous, and then you be going home and like be on Blue Sky. You're like, this is not cool.
yeah, you're like, I guess.
You're like, I guess gotta pay.
yeah, damn.
But, yeah, so-
that's a thing.
So, even that, like, I wasn't on Twitter as much as I wanted to be on Twitter. And it's like your phone will tell you, like, yo, your daily activities dropped by like 50%. And it was like I was enjoying life a little more, but at the same time, stuff is going on and you're not aware of it, especially with like the election or just
Right.
like COVID or just anything going on.
You couldn't just make up another Twitter name, or you wanted what you had.
The thing is, you can make a new name, but then it's just like you're not connected to the people you've been following for years.
Gotcha.
And then like you don't even like. I know people I've been following for years on Twitter. I don't know their names. I know their little icon.
Right.
So, and then it's like you follow them. They might not recognize you. They won't interact with you the same way. And it's just like you've curated your feed over years. So it's specific. You follow specific people. To start from scratch doing that, it's just like.
So it wasn't just about checking in. It was like,
Yeah, and
what
it was
you
just
had.
like that kind of thing. And it was sort of like you have like certain information accounts you follow that tell you what's going on in the world and Hollywood and stuff like that. But once I got back in, I was like, all right, like now I'm not as hardcore as I used to be. Because especially when I had the show, it was like you had to be on Twitter constantly.
yeah.
Because like even that, you had to like if you see something, you send it to the writers. You send it this, like make a skit out of this, that kind of thing. So now it's like you could just watch it more passively, but you should always be plugged in if you can be.
Do you miss the show?
I miss making people happy.
Yeah. And did you miss the routine of it?
Oh, so much.
Yeah, man.
So much.
That's
I miss,
crazy, right?
It's so like it's sad. Like one of the people I was closest to was my driver.
Mm-hmm.
Because like every day he drove me.
Right.
He'd hear phone calls. Like he took me to my therapist. He watched me through the course of the show. He watched me grow and
He
like
saw it build too.
he saw it build and like so he hit me up the other day just randomly and was like, "Hope you're okay in LA. I miss what we had and I was so proud of watching you grow and what we did." See, even that, I was like, yo, that was like my best friend. You know what I mean? So it's just like that kind of thing. And just like, I'm still super close with everyone that worked on my show. Like even the other day, I flew back to New Jersey because one of my staff members, her and her husband, they bought a house. So it was like a housewarming. And then we're there and they're like, "Hey, the three of us want to welcome you to our new house." And I'm like, the three of y'all? She's pregnant.
Oh wow!
And the idea that she invited me to that, like all my staff members, like family, like we still stay in contact. They all have my personal number if they need me for like a resume recommendation or anything.
Yeah, so this
that's
is
my people.
this is like real.
This is real because like that's my like I miss that. I miss like walking into the studio, like messing with the PAs. You know, I'm talking to the cameraman, making the angles right. The sound guy coming up to me, he's like, "You smell like weed." I was like, "I was just smoking." You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah,
I
those
miss
are
that.
the things, man.
There's little things like that.
Yeah,
and then also just making a show and being proud of it.
Yeah.
Just watch it. Because now my new thing is like when I watch shows, I watch all the end credits. In the beginning, I would never like the end credits are super boring.
Hey man,
and now
I'm
you
a
watch
credit
them.
watcher. Even my girl, she'll try to lead a theater. Even at the theater, bro, I watch all the way down to the bottom.
Because if you see a name, you're like, "Oh, I worked with them.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that person. Oh, wow, they were on that."
I even look at like the stuntman. I like, oh, that's beautiful. I know him.
Like
Those
I'm the
kinda
person.
things.
I'll pause it to make sure I get all the names and
Same.
stuff like that.
Did you ever look at the end of it was a Wayans movie?
Okay.
And when you stop the credits, they had little messages.
little stuff like little hidden jokes and stuff like that.
Yeah, in the credits. Yeah, man.
Yes.
I don't know if it was White Chicks or something.
I think it was like they did that in a couple. I think Scary Movie did it as well.
Yeah, but
And
it'd be
so-
like such and such. Oh, you stupid, and
Yeah,
are you
like,
still watching
reading?
this?
Yeah,
Yes.
that kind of thing.
Yeah, man.
See, they don't do that. That's what I miss about like. That's what I love about being in Hollywood. Like they don't do that kind of thing anymore. Like people, they're not putting their foot in it.
Yeah,
like
man.
we're not getting.
It's different now.
Like one thing, shout out to there's a rapper here. His name is Nana. He's from Compton. That's my little homie. But I've always wanted. Do you remember there was a movie called Who's the Man with Ed Lover and Dr.
hell
Dre?
yeah.
And
Everybody was in there. B-Rap, everybody
when
they were cops.
And I was like, yo, we need to remake that. What if we make a movie like that about like 2 comedians and we just have all these rappers in it? We could have like Flo Milli, Megan. We could have them come to the West Coast and they're kicking it with like Ice-T, Sugar Free, Richie Rich. All these people like that. Cause like that movie, I remember it introduced so many people to so many rappers they didn't know. Like rappers from New Jersey, rappers from DC and stuff like that. And that's something I miss about hip hop is like right now everything is too connected. And before there used to be a disconnect, which made you hungry for the other side.
Right. And a good disconnect.
A good disconnect. Like I'm in the Bronx, we're listening to Ice Cube, The Lynch Mob. We're listening to like Ice-T, E40 and all this stuff because we didn't like growing up. I was like, I would probably never make it to LA.
Yeah, man.
This is the only way I'm ever gonna hear about LA.
But that was the same way for us too. Like when we heard certain things, like I didn't know the Bronx until like KRS-One or someone told me about the Bronx. I didn't know about when Slick Rick talked about the project. You know what I'm saying? And then there was similarities that I was like, oh, they getting fucked with by the police.
Exactly.
Oh, you know what I'm saying?
Bro,
like
I remember Ice Cube, Black Korea. About
yeah.
And I was like, wait. So
Out
when you
there
go in the
too?
store, they do that to you as well?
Follow
out
you
there?
around the store? What?
And like, so like even with the whole, like the East Coast, West Coast beef, like that was like magazines and stuff. Cause like I was like, why would I have beef with someone in the West Coast? I got beef with people in Brooklyn. I don't got time for this.
Right.
Right. But even that, it was just like, I remember there was a quote from Chuck D and he was like, rap is the CNN of black culture.
Yeah.
And it definitely was that. That was the only way we found out anything about LA. So it's like even wild now. Like the other day I was watching Menace to Society. And watching it, and I'm pausing it, and I'm Googling the addresses in there. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is like an Erewhon now. Or this is like gentrified.
Yeah,
like,
man.
And I'm just, there's like spots, and I'm just like, wow, this was the hood. And now, like, people got, like, their dogs have sweaters on. You know what I'm saying?
with dogs.
They got thrift stores.
Yeah.
Hey, man,
Shoes on.
I literally know spots, from back in my day that was like serving spots.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh my God, they're jogging out here.
Yeah. Because, like, I was talking about homegirl the other day, and she was like, we went to a spot, Verdugo Bar. And, like, I'm looking at the streets. I was like, this looks super familiar. She was like, yo, there used to be drive-bys here all the time. This used to be such a bad gang neighborhood. And now you go there, it's just like white people reading books on the lobby.
Yeah. Hey, dude, I remember even when I would go other places, people were like, oh, let's go downtown. You know, any city, state, downtown was popping for them.
Right.
Downtown here was like Escape from LA.
No.
It was like Welcome to the Terror Dome, Night of the Living Baseheads kind of thing, man. And now you go downtown, it's like Whole Foods and it's people live downtown.
Bro, I live downtown. And the other night I was at a wine bar eating tinned fish.
Right.
But then when I talk to people from LA and they told me downtown stories.
Oh my God,
bro.
Man. I remember one time we came out of this like underground club spot. Me and my homie walking to the car. We looked and we saw that the hood of the car was just a little ajar. We're like, oh, that ain't a good thing. He closed it, went to go start the car up. They stole the battery.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about you couldn't throw a U-turn downtown. You had no reason to be downtown.
And see, the funny thing about that story, when I was younger, we went to Yankee Stadium. We come back. The same thing. The hood of the car is open. The battery's gone. Yeah, but then this guy comes over to my father's. He has the trunk open, and my father's like, "Someone stole the battery." This guy comes through. He's like, "Y'all trying to buy a battery?" I'm like, "Dog, that's our battery."
Yeah, man. Like
you're not just walking around. You're just not randomly walking around the Bronx with a battery. That's our battery, sir.
Just happen to have this, huh? Man, I got this. I'm solving your problem.
I'm like, wow. He's like, oh, just happen to have an extra car battery on me. Wow, it's your lucky day.
Man, but the same way you talk about how you didn't, you kind of got the CNN of what was going on in LA. That's the same way I was with like KRS-One, that edutainment thing for me. I remember, dude, with You Must Learn. He had a song called You Must Learn. And I remember I learned so much.
He was preaching. Remember, like, black cop, he's an officer, overseer. Overseer. Like, as a kid, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, man.
I was like, whoa. I learned I don't gotta go to college now.
Yeah,
I'm good.
You still have your hand? Are you still tapped into a lot of hip hop now?
Bro, I used to DJ.
Right, same.
So I have all this vinyl.
Same.
I still have like I was at my mother's house the other day. I have like this storage unit, and all it is like every old issue of XXL, every old issue of Vibe, every old issue of Source. And the way I have stuff underlined and all this stuff, I used to go to like the underground stores go to like Fat Beats and all that stuff. I used to cut school to go get vinyl. That's how much of a hip hop nerd I was.
Loved it, man.
I used to stay up late listening to 89.1, which was WNYU, which is like Stretch and Bobbito, or the digital. Like I remember listening to Method Man freestyle. And I remember coming to school one day, and my teacher was like, "Do you have a job at night?" And I was like, "Why?" She was like, "You're always tired when you come here." And it's like, "Nah, I love hip hop, ma."
Yeah.
I was like, I had to stay up for a Big L freestyle.
And you're like, one day you'll know my name.
One day you'll know.
Yeah,
hip hop, real hip hop.
yeah. I'm paying tuition into the school.
No, but
experience.
I used to be like I used to make websites for like underground rap groups. Like
of
rap
course
groups,
you did.
Like I'm talking about like websites that 15 people would visit. Like I had a rap group. I had a website for organized confusion.
Right.
Pharaoh Monch,
but that's dope though.
Or like Company Flow,
right?
And then it was funny because we had LP because Company Flow went on to LP is in Run the Jewels now, and I remember like meeting him, LP and Killer Mike, and I was like, bro, Company Flow was so good. He was like, how do you know about that?
Right.
Because they're like we have fans, but no one knows that it's such a deep cut. And I'm like, bro, at that point I became like a hip hop hater. Like if I saw you enjoying like Nas or somebody, I'd be like, that's not real hip hop, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
Nas wasn't real hip hop to you because he was like,
you know what? After the Illmatic, I became one of those bitter people because I was like, he's doing too much mafioso. It's too shiny. He's doing trap masters.
You was one of the original. I want the real. I want the old Nas.
The real old school hip hop hater.
I want the old Nas.
I want my lyrics, bro.
Yeah,
like,
man.
I don't want any. Like I don't want. We didn't want like the shiny suits.
Did you feel like hip hop got goofy a few years ago?
You know what?
And I don't mean goofy today, but
right.
it had gotten to a spot where people was like, "Oh, I just do this because it is,"
yeah.
and it just got a little different.
I'm seeing what happens now. Like all my older cousins, when they be like, "I don't like your hip hop," and I was like, these artists are great. You know, and they're like, "Nah, Rakim was better." All these people, and I was like, "Well, that's old people now." And it was like the other day we were listening to like Yeet.
Yeah. See, I took my son love Yeet.
Yeah.
And I remember I took my son to a Yeet concert.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just one of those things where I try to soak it all in. Because I got a thing too, when I first was like really DJing and banging hip hop, I always had people that said, you know, that's not gonna last. I'll come from that it's a fad.
Yeah.
You know, it's not gonna last.
Mm-hmm.
And I came from, what are they talking about? That's not real music. So when I listen now, I don't give a straight history lesson to my son.
Right.
This is where he's at in hip hop right now.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I can compare it, but he don't want to hear that.
See, that's an important lesson to learn. Because like my nephew, he listens to, look, he's 9.
Mm-hmm.
So he's listening to these rappers, and I'm just like, yo, this is trash.
Right.
This is garbage. I would never listen to this. Never would say that to him, though.
Right.
Because I always remember this. Like, I've been listening to hip hop my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
He's 9.
Right.
He's only in his whole life maybe listening to 9 years worth of music.
Right. If
so
that.
This might be the most amazing song he's ever heard in his life. So I'm not going to diminish that from that. Like,
right.
Perhaps as he gets older, he'll hear better stuff.
Yeah.
Perhaps this is the best song he's ever going to hear. I'm not going to, like, I don't want to be that person if you're like, I see you're enjoying a meal and I come through like, that has a lot of saturated fat. Like, I'm not going to come and ruin this for you.
Right.
You know, like.
Do you know the sodium level on
like,
that?
Bro. You know, they killed a baby cow for that.
Yeah.
Like, no.
That's not real food.
People enjoy things. And
that's not energy food.
And that's also what hip hop is. Because like my nephew, he's great at basketball. And him and his team, they listen to that music and gets them charged up.
Yeah,
so I'm
man.
like, it's doing something.
And it works for him.
them. Exactly.
What did you feel about the whole Kendrick and Drake?
You know what? That was wild.
Yeah, it was.
That was wild, especially because I was out here.
Okay.
That changed everything. Because, like, even my friends in New York and everything, when you went to New York, they were still playing Not Like Us and Euphoria.
Right.
Also, you have to be a real sicko to enjoy Meet the Grams. I love that song.
Right.
Played all, just sitting in the dark with the lights out in my apartment, just playing it. Like, yeah, you real sicko. But, no, it was incredible. It felt like back in the day beef. Like, LL, Cannabis, that kind of thing.
Yes.
Because I remember where I was at when Not Like Us dropped. I was literally at brunch.
I remember where I was at.
And like,
isn't that crazy?
I was at brunch. I had to go to the bathroom to sneak and listen to it. And I was like, listen. I was like, I was like, all right, this is all right. And then I heard pedophile. I was like, gee, whoa.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, that's not a joke. And I went on Twitter, and Twitter was just exploded because remember he had just Drake dropped the song right before
Hell
that.
yeah, man.
And it was just like, it was such a cat and mouse game. It was so calculated.
Oh
the
my
way
God.
Drake was like, you got nothing to drop, you got nothing to drop, you got nothing to drop. And then he was like, bang, bang, bang. Like that whole thing.
I remember Drake was like, nah. You know, and I was
Yeah.
like, Kendrick, what's going on?
And I was like, like he did that. He did he dropped the video with the minivan getting crushed, and everyone was like, "There's no way Kendrick comes back for this." And Kendrick was like, "Hold up!" And I was like, "Whoa!" But also watching how people embrace Not Like Us, like there was a moment you couldn't go anywhere in LA without hearing it.
Right,
bro. I was at a Vietnamese restaurant. They're playing it, and the servers are singing along to it. I'm like, "All right, y'all gotta relax." And then just like it became like a theme for LA, and then like with the Dodgers. Like that became a thing. The problem with it now, like the wrong people are using. You got like Karen Bass saying, it, like, relax, relax.
Yeah.
She's like, they're not like us because we use the Metro. It's like, all right, ma'am, we get it.
Like, slow down, Karen. But like when you say not even in LA though, Desus, you couldn't go. Like,
no, you go in New York.
You couldn't watch a video. You couldn't watch a sports game. You couldn't watch the Olympics.
I forgot I was watching something and they had like an orchestra playing it. I'm like, all right, that's even more disrespectful. You just got like a white lady on the cello, like, brah, 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 brah. You're like, whoa. And the thing is, like, that song's not going anywhere anytime soon.
And you see, it's nominated for 5 Grammys.
5 Grammys,
and then the other 2 are for Like That.
But remember, Drake said Kendrick opened his mouth, give him a Grammy. So,
Hey,
listen,
man. Yeah.
Listen.
It was hell of a to watch, though.
I think the worst video I ever saw was like these little kids at like a birthday.
Oh my God!
And they were singing it.
Do you have the video? The little girl in the red.
Yes.
I was like,
wow. she's doing the hip hop mannerisms of a 50-year-old.
Hey, dude, I told the team and we did a video about it. I said, dude, she got to be like Kendra Lamar.
Yes.
Like what?
No, she appreciates lyrics. Those kids and like they know it, and it's just like, how do you come back from that?
Yeah, man.
Because like every now
and
like
the thing with those kids, it was like probably a 6th grade, 8th grade graduation.
Yeah.
And they were sitting there like, minor.
That part right there.
And then the girl in the red was like, I was like, oh my God, dude.
And it's so wild because like Drake keeps dropping new songs now, and you're just like, they just sound different.
Right.
Like, you know.
I said that.
It's like I have a friend, and after COVID, like she can no longer, like cilantro tastes like soap to her.
Right.
And she used to love Chipotle.
Yeah.
And she can't eat it now.
That's my guy in soda.
And I was like, yo.
He can't after COVID, he like, man, soda tastes metallic to me. So you're saying that I just don't it wasn't like it was.
And I'm just like, my whole thing with Drake, just take a break. Just take a break and just come back strong next year. Just like some of the stuff he's dropping now, I'm like, dog, like, you want to talk? Like,
hey man, had you ever had anyone that you did when you were on the show or when you was on Twitter and everything that was offended by something you guys did or said?
Ooh, see. Yeah, there were a couple of people. Generally, it was like if you could talk to them in person, it wasn't an issue.
Gotcha.
I think, not you, but Big Boy from Outkast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a total misunderstanding. Because I didn't like Idlewild.
Right.
That's it. I had one
you just said it.
I said it.
Oh, you put it out on Twitter.
On Twitter. I was like, I hated Idlewild. It was probably Outkast's worst album. That's what I put. Which, looking back, that's kind of wild to put on Twitter.
Right.
Because you put something like that out there and the person sees it, they have every right to block you. He blocked me, and then he was on the show, and I was like, yo, you blocked me. And he was like, I don't even remember why I blocked you. And I was like,
and you told him?
I told him. He was like, no, that's blockable.
Yeah.
But shout to him, he unblocked me.
I love that you brought it up, though. Like, he didn't bring it up.
No, because when he blocked me, I was like, no. I was like, not my favorite.
Hip hop.
Because Twitter at that time, like Twitter used to be wilder back in the day. So you tweet something and then like people block you. Be like, why'd you block me? And it's like, yo, you just said the most hateful thing ever.
Right.
But,
and you said you were a hater though.
I was a hater, and it's interesting now because now I have haters.
Yeah.
And so I see it, and I'm like, but then the thing is, like, you have to investigate your haters. Like, you got to go back on their profile and look what they're tweeting about. Because they'll be like, yo, they'll be like, Jesus isn't funny. And I'll go on their profile. They'll be like, miss my kid. I'm like, oh, you going through things.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this ain't about me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Your girl and you are fighting. So you're just trying to take it out on me.
Like,
all right?
Yeah, this is your type of therapy.
Or sometimes people be like, they're like, Jesus. And they'll be like, oh, because they missed the old show. And anything I do going forward, they're like, I'm not supporting it. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you there, but you're not going to be on Twitter talking to me wild like that. Like, so
it's crazy because you do have people that want to probably keep you in a box.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
and that's the thing. Like, people, even me moving to LA, people were just like, oh, you sold out. You're in Hollywood. I was like, well, first of all, we had a show that was on Hollywood, so I've already been Hollywood.
Yeah.
And secondly, even people were like, yo, Hollywood Desus. I was like, see, That's the problem with New York. Y'all don't know anything about LA. Why can't I be Glendale Jesus? Why can't I be Eagle Rock Jesus? You know what I'm saying? There's other places, bro.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Jesus.
No, yeah,
Listen,
this broad stroke.
When I really sell out, I'll be Newport Beach Jesus.
Yeah,
You know?
and that's what I'm working
That's
for.
what I'm working for.
That's what I'm working
You
for.
see me with my red hat, don't say nothing. But no, it's just like people. It's kind of ironic because part of the beauty of my whole brand is people watch me grow. People watch me come from just being like this guy in the Bronx that was just like literally the first time I ever saw avocado toast, I took a picture of it. I was like, yo, what is this?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you see me grow, expand, have new experiences, and real fans enjoy that because I'm bringing them along on that. But you have some people and they're like, I don't want to see anything past this. You have a certain demographic. They're like, all I want from you is you saying you wearing a Yankee fitted in Timberlands making New York jokes. And I was like, okay, that worked for me in 2015. It's no longer 2015. I don't want to be that person. I don't, because that's a big thing that happens in the Bronx. You get to a certain age and you're like, that's it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You get to be a 62-year-old Puerto Rican grandfather. You have on a lime green Yankee fitted. You still listening. You listening to Most Def. You know, you're just on the corner. But all you know, like you've gotten comfortable with this specific life and you're not trying to branch out from it. And it's like, no, I want to do more. Like I went to Iceland. I'm riding around like on a snowmobile on a mountain. Like, that's growth, and ideally, you want me to be able to have that experience so I could come back and tell you about it and share that with you. Yeah. But that's the scariest thing when people who don't want to see you grow. But sometimes it's more about they're jealous,
right? Yeah,
because they see you going outside of your boundaries, and they would never do that,
right? So
they hate you for that.
Yeah, I'm not growing. I don't want to see you either.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Back on that hater thing.
Yeah. Believe that. Now, how do we catch the new show Bet? Because you guys are already in series already,
yes.
Right? Episodes.
Yes. If you go on YouTube, you go to Sirius XM, or just search. And it's over there. Also, it's on the LOL network. I believe that's on, like, you can find that on like the Samsung TV and stuff like that.
So it's easy to find, though.
It's easy to find. Just Google it. And yeah, we're out there. And also, you can go on the Draft Kings app.
Is it audio visual too? Is
audio
it
and visual. But no, we got the video. You'll love the set. We got 2 thrones. We got a little neon sign in the back. We got a little vine. It looks kind of like it looks like a terrible brunch spot.
Yeah, you know there it is. You know,
brunch spot. Too much hookah. They're playing Nicki Minaj. Someone's gonna fight. Hookah? You know what? I've done hookah once.
Right.
Where?
And in New York. Oh. But the thing was, I didn't feel right doing it because I was like, wait, this is like people's actual religion and stuff, right? And people was like, yeah, you can't really be doing it for fun. And then also, when you go to the hookah spot, they give you these little mouthpieces that you're supposed to change after each person.
Yes.
Once you start drinking, no one's changing the mouthpieces.
And
now, if you're drinking with a dirt bag, now we all got herpes. So,
so therefore,
no
stop.
But then also, I thought hookah was like weed. I didn't realize it's just tobacco. So the first time I did it, I pulled it on it bad hard, and I got the wild tobacco rush. I had to sit down. I was all winded.
What y'all put in this?
I was like, what is this? And then they're like, what flavor do you want? I was like, what? And they're like, do you want like pina colada? Do you want like
on the beach?
you want Casamigos? I was like, I don't even think that's technically a flavor.
Right.
But no, they got the hookah spot.
So you were one and done.
Yes. There's one hookah spot in Hollywood. I forgot the name of it. It's over by Horses, but that's a cool spot.
You shouldn't go in Hollywood. You should go outside. That's really real.
So
Burbank. Encino.
Okay.
Everywhere, but not Hollywood.
Not Hollywood.
Everywhere but Hollywood.
Everywhere but Hollywood.
There it is. Well, take it from her. She does hookah.
Okay.
And do it when it's outside.
Hey, man, Tyson Jake Paul fight. We're about to come up on that.
Yeah, dog.
What do you think about?
I'm disappointed already. Because I remember when Tyson was wild. When Tyson, like, they had to calm him down before he killed someone.
Yeah, man.
And that ain't Tyson no more. Tyson, when he talks now, like, he's like, I've been through stuff. I meditate. He's like, I'm at peace.
Hey, man, I was listening to, remember when he told the reporter, F you and you'll like it, and I'll eat your kids. Yeah.
Like
when he told Name Deus, I'll eat your kid. And then at the time, he's like, I don't even have kids.
Yeah. That was scary Tyson.
That man said, I'll F you and you'll love it. White boy.
That was back when Tyson, I remember my uncle, he threw like a fight party back when you had to have pay-per-view and people had to pay.
Yeah.
And I remember the fight was like one of those 2-minute fights.
Yeah, man.
And everyone was upset at the end, like, I need my money back and everything. That's the Tyson I remember. When he come in and he would just mess things up. And there's too much money involved in this. He can't like kill Jake Paul in the ring. And this is like, because also we did the Showtime fight for when Jake Paul fought what's his name? Mayweather.
Oh, really? Cool.
We called that.
So that was Jake didn't fight Mayweather.
Was it Jake or
what's the other?
Logan.
Logan. Yep.
So even that, it was just like watching that. I'm not saying it wasn't staged,
Right, but it
was
was
just like
definitely
you
an
could see
exhibition.
it was an exhibition, and it's
Yeah.
more for the views.
Yeah,
it's not
man.
an actual physical event. And this right here, they have so much to promote. There's so much advertising and everything. They have every reason to go the full. How
They
many
better
rounds
not.
it is? It's not gonna be a knockout because like now he's talking about he gonna knock out Mike Tyson. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Nope.
I hope not.
If he knocks out Mike Tyson,
Yeah.
between last week and then that, like we gonna be down bad, bro. Like
Man, what happened last week?
it's Trump.
Oh,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like
Jesus Christ, brought me back to it, huh?
bro, don't. It's always hanging out there.
Yeah.
It's always hanging. Every time you having fun, be like, don't forget.
Hey, man, because when you said it happened last week, I was like, damn, I said, I know the Yankees was 2 weeks ago from
Wow, back to the Yankees.
Yeah, that's
Back to
what
the-
I just thought that,
No, it's
but-
really funny because every time you see another Yankee fan, we're always like, bro, next year, bro.
Yeah.
Next year, bro.
I-
And it's, the people like, yo, the Yankees suck. I'm like, tell me something I don't know, bro. But there's nothing you can say to to me about the Yankees I'm not already saying. in my
Right, yeah.
head.
You like, man, I already Eminem 8 Mile
Yeah,
this.
because like even
Like, ain't nothing you can say.
they just renewed the contract with Aaron Boone, the manager, and like every Yankee fan is like, yeah, 12 more years of not winning anything. Congrats.
Crazy.
Wow.
But you rocked the you
Still
rocked the
rocking
hat,
it. Still
as you
rocking
should.
it. So and also this is the World Series hat, which means I now have over 10 Yankee hats here in LA. Different colors, different variations.
And that's the World Series.
That's the
hat
one that just came.
Yeah, but it don't say champion. on it.
Nah, it says we were there.
Yeah,
We were there.
yeah. But I love it.
Sometimes, just happy to be there.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. A lot of people weren't.
A lot of people weren't.
Hey man, what did you feel about Ice Cube performance and our guy Fat Joe's performance?
Okay, I love Ice Cube. Great performance. He performed.
Yeah.
I guess Fat Joe was in the area. And they was like, yo, you
come
got free time? Not, bro. He like half the lyrics. Also, there's a problem in Yankee Stadium with the lag for the audio.
Yeah,
which
100%.
we know about since '09 when Little Mama and Jay-Z performed Empire State of Mind. There was a lag and you couldn't hear the lyrics.
Lil Mama?
Yeah. Little Mama.
See,
Alicia
there you go.
Keys.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm
Because
saying who should have done it.
You talking about when
I'm
Lil
talking about
Mama
the real
crashed
one.
when
The
she
real
crashed?
one.
Yeah.
But so it should have been a backing track. It shouldn't have been the actual vocals. But then like it was just kind of just like it wasn't like rehearsed, and the energy was just kind of off. It wasn't like a good representation for New York. I get it. If he was like, oh, Fat Joe from the Bronx.
Right.
Yeah.
And the Yankees, but if anything, it probably should have been Jay-Z or something. It should have been a big. It's the World Series. It should have
Right.
been really big. And it's just like, also, you can go anywhere and be like, yo, you heard of Ice Cube? And they're like, yeah, Friday, The Predator, all
Right,
this
right.
stuff. People like, yo, you heard of Fat Joe? They're like, is that your cousin?
I'm
Like-
done.
And I love Fat Joe.
Yeah, so
but
do
no,
I.
like
That's my
being
partner.
out here, like I literally was at a bar watching it, and people was like, who is this? Because like, you also got to remember, you have to be a certain age to remember Fat Joe. Like if you're young,
Right.
you don't know nothing about Terror Squad. You don't know about if you like my nephew. If I go, yo, bro, you ever heard of Big Pun? He's like, excuse me, like he
Right.
wouldn't know.
And see, my kid. Well, maybe my kids are cut closer to it, but also like my kids, they don't know Ice Cube, America's Most Wanted,
Right.
But yeah, they do know Ice Cube, other things.
Are we
Gotcha.
there yet? That kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Because some of that early, like, it was also funny on Twitter because I said, oh, Ice Cube's performing. And people was like, you don't know about Ice Cube. I've been an Ice Cube fan from day one. And I was like, you were an Ice Cube fan when he was the N-word you love to hate?
Mm-hmm.
Because I can see your Twitter profile, Bill. And I would hope to hate that you were not a little white kid at 14 listening to the N-word and
Right,
singing
yeah,
along.
yeah.
But that's his fan base and stuff like that. And so, like, he did that whole thing where, like, he didn't sell out. You watched him grow. He went
Right,
from
right.
being, like, the rapper with the AK-47 on his cover. He's doing family movies.
Yeah.
He has the big three.
But then also like my kids know Joe from today, and in today's price. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, so I
Yesterday's
think
price is
people
not
know.
today's price,
I
yeah.
think that people know Fat Joe. But if you're in a bar and you bear witness to
Yeah.
it, then,
Because I know Fat Joe when he was Joey Crack.
yeah,
From
same. I knew
DITC.
Fat Joe before I got into radio.
Yeah,
Like,
when he's
that's-
doing graffiti with Lord Finesse and
Yeah.
digging in the crates and Buckwild and all that stuff. And so, like, it's kind of like a joke now because, like, I'm like, Joey Crack. And he's like, yeah, they call me Joey Crack because I used to wear pants that would show the crack of my ass. I was like, that's what we're going with now? 'Cause
I haven't heard that
that's-
one.
That's what he says.
Oh, okay.
Joey, not trying to blow up your spot, Joseph.
Okay.
But,
Well, I'm gonna stop because that's my partner right
Nah,
there.
I love No, that's my guy. Shout out to Fat Joe because Fat Joe is like a legend because when we met him, he's so congratulatory.
Oh yeah, man.
And he
loved
will
to
always
see
pick
you
you
win
up.
too.
He loved to see you win. And
Him
he's
and
just a good
Busta
person.
Rhymes are just like energy.
And just a
Energy
good
gods.
dude. Just
Yeah.
a good dude. Super support. Super funny.
Like even before I got into radio, man, where he would just be, come through with Relativity Records. He
Yeah.
would jump in my Cadillac to roll around LA. He don't want to be with no music reps and the label and all that stuff. So yeah, that's my man, 10 grand.
I used to work at Relativity.
Oh, really though?
Yes, for the street team
Dude,
with the general.
Dude,
I
you
used
worked
to,
everywhere.
I
bro.
did. I got arrested for Relativity. I was putting a
like putting up posters or something. Or
busy
what?
bone. Yes, and then the next day we had Endo G cigarette lighters, and it was me and 4 other interns. We had to sit in the conference room and test all the cigarette lighters because like most of them didn't work. So
that was your gig at the time.
that was our gig at the time.
All right.
Yeah. And we got how they pay us? Free CDs.
Oh yeah.
No money. Totally illegal. Just like
Tuition
16.
into the School of Experience.
And you know what? You couldn't tell me nothing because I'm coming to school with like
You the
bumper
street team.
stickers and stuff.
Yeah, you
Girls
the
are
guy.
like, and you know, like you might exaggerate a little. They're like, "Oh, you work at Relativity?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm an exec."
Yeah.
Yeah.
My old boss.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
take 2 of these
I
right
was
here.
like,
You know what
you know
I'm
what I'm
saying?
saying?
Yeah, you take 2 of those.
these.
Man, thank you for coming into the neighborhood.
Thank you
bro.
for having me, man.
Man,
It's
we got to
like,
do it again.
Always. This is legendary. It's always
Nah,
a pleasure
thank
to
you,
the call
brother.
from you, and thanks for all the kind words you said to
Oh,
me.
brother, you earned those, bro.
Thank you,
Believe
man.
that, man. Desus Nice. Thank you for coming into the neighborhood. Big Boy's neighborhood.
Big boy.